I'd like to call to order the October 11th meeting of the Shelby Township Planning Commission. Happy Columbus Day, happy Indigenous People Day, and anything else anyone wants to be happy about. I will ask the acting secretary to call the roll, please.
Mr. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Meredith?
Here.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Here.
Commissioner Moore is absent. Mr. Grott?
Here.
Mr. Loray?
Here.
Mr. Apone?
Here.
Mr. Turner is here. Chairman Moffett, we have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Next item is approval of the agenda. If there are no corrections.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes from the September 27th meeting.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This evening, we've two items, two site plans to review. The first, conditional rezoning petition number 03-21 and site plan number 21-30, Giovanni Aluia. Now, this is an issue that's been before this body multiple times. We've had multiple public hearings on this one. The last time we addressed this, there was a motion to postpone, subject to some answering of some questions that the Shelby departments had raised. So I'm going to call on the planner to see if the petitioner has answered those and how they've answered those.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. One of the issues was the distance between units. They went from 14 feet to 28 feet, so they comply with that. The other issue was the open space calculation, and they have provided that, and they are providing over 3 acres of open space with this plan. Those were the two major issues. They increased the landscaping buffer between the residential property to the north and also this site itself. They meet all the other zoning ordinance requirements except for parallel parking, which will require a variance on that. But the only other thing I wanted to mention is I know that they have these signs proposed where the driveway meets the Macomb Church, but I didn't see any gate details, so we would definitely like that to be closed off so there's no traffic going through the church property. So we'll need the details for, for the gate.
Okay, I'll tell you what, why don't the petitioner come on up, or representative who wants to address it.
Good evening, Chairman Moffett, Jim Epping, Chapping Partners, representing Mr. Aluia and his team tonight.
Okay, so simple question. Will you put the gate up?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Yes.
Okay, that's all I want to know. Okay? I believe we understand the issues on both sides of this thing. The motion was to have those questions answered. They've been answered. Does anyone on the board have any questions for the petitioner? Or for the planner? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Yes, please. For the planner, specifically in the elevation of the land, if you look at the elevation map of the material, the soil on both sides, it seems that the outside of the facility, like the village area, the property's lower. Mm-hmm. And it looks like the drains are going to run down into that village. Am I reading that diagram differently? It's 622 versus 624 versus 625?
Correct. So definitely that's going to be taken care of during engineering to make sure that the slopes all go to the drains. But that's done at engineering, Mr. Meredith.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seeing no other, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Turner?
I will move to recommend approval for conditional rezoning petition number 3-21 and site plan number 21-30, Giovanni Aluia for Olympia Homes and Michael Danello, Vanguard Companies, for part of parcel number 23-07-24-300-003 and part of parcel number 23-07-24-300-039 to be rezoned from R1B, one-family residential, to R8, multiple-family low-rise based on the following. The proposed rezoning and land use plan is consistent with the land use pattern recommended in the township's adopted master plan. The current zoning pattern in this area does not fully conform to the established development pattern. The conditional site plan has sufficient access to a major thoroughfare. The proposed use will not interfere with or discourage the appropriate development and use of adjacent land and buildings or unreasonably affect their value. And the applicant has agreed to install an emergency gate on the south end of their development.
Is there support for that motion?
Support.
It's been moved by Turner, support by Apone. Are there any questions on the motion?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Grott?
I cannot support a motion as presented. I made my opinion very clear at previous meetings. I strongly believe the property can be developed as zoned, and there's a shortage of single-family homes in Shelby Township, so I'm going to be voting against it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. If there are no other questions on the motion, I will call the roll. Commissioner Turner?
Yes.
Commissioner Apone?
Yes.
Commissioner LeRae?
No.
Commissioner Snyder?
No.
Commissioner Meredith?
No.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Grott?
No.
And the chair votes yes. It's a tied. It'll forward it on to the board with no recommendation. Okay. Next item is Theodore R. Johnson for Costco Wholesale, 49460 Market Street. If the representative is here. You are? Come up, name and address. Julie, why don't I ask you to tee this up?
Okay, thank you. Basically, Costco Wholesale is proposing to do a car wash, purchase 3.16 acres of the property to the north of them. That subject parcel is over 14 acres, and they are requesting that the use of the car wash be permitted in a C5 district and be deemed an accessory use. We had the similar situation when the fueling station went in. The Planning Commission reviewed it, recommended denial, and it was went to the Zoning Board of Appeals, where at that point, the Zoning Board of Appeals also recommended denial, and it was completed under a consent judgment. So that is pretty much the same protocol that we are following here. We need the Planning Commission to interpret if the car wash would be an accessory use in the C5 zoning district.
Okay. Are they, did you say they're looking to purchase property to do this, or is it on their
Correct.
existing?
No, they are looking to purchase the parcel that is just directly north of Costco.
Yeah, actually half of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
not the entire parcel. 'cause that-
Yeah, about
that
just
would-
over
that
four,
would seem-
3.5 acres, a little bit over.
Okay, that would seem excessive. Okay, so name and address, and...
My name is Sherry Krieg. My address, business address is 2311 West 22nd Street in Oak Brook, Illinois. Presentation, or?
Sure.
As she stated, sorry, Costco is seeking to expand their current parcel to approximately 18.5 acres. With this addition, not only are they looking to potentially bring the very first car wash to the Midwest region, we are also going to increase the parking at that location with approximately 170 to 169 additional parking spaces, as we know that that location is underparked. With the excess, they have decided, operational-wise, that they would like to bring the car washes to the Midwest. Majority of the existing buildings, obviously, because property was already purchased, there's not been much expansion opportunities, and this is one of the first times that has come across that they have elected and chosen to move forward with this car wash as one of the accessory uses. They have them currently right now primarily in their California, Oregon, and Washington locations, but have put it on their radar for any future expansion possibilities to start bringing them here to this area.
Okay. No, we're not dealing with site plan. That's a whole different
Yeah,
process.
yeah, I'm
We're
totally
just-
aware that
we're
we have
just-
to come
we're just
back for
kinda
all
viewing
of
this
that
as a
after
concept,
this. Yes.
But, you know, it strikes me, you want to add 110 parking spots. Where would they go? I mean, what would those parking spots be?
Well, the majority of those parking spots we're targeting for our employees,
Would it-
so that
there's
it
no-
opens
there's
up
no-
more parking for
As well?
the
or-
customers where they are.
Unfortunately, I know that store too well, or my wife even more knows it that well.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that parking would frankly alleviate very little, but, okay.
Yeah.
But we'll deal with that when we deal with it. To the board, any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Turner?
I guess I'd ask our attorney, when this came up before the fueling station, I could understand why they may say it's an accessory use. The Planning Commission and the ZBA said no. Township obviously, in the end, did decide through a consent judgment that they would go with it. Are we not going to end up in the same situation here? Because they could say it's an incidental use since it's a car wash, and they're already doing fueling and car repair. So could we end up in the same situation that we did before?
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
a
the
blunt-
first time they determined, that it wasn't really a accessory use or incidental use, but now that the gas station is there, I think it might change a little bit, and you have to take that into account when you make your determination.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from anyone? Julie, did you have any concluding comments?
No, I don't have any additional information, Mr. Moffett.
Okay. So I guess a motion is appropriate this time?
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion
Sure, Mr. Turner.
to interpret that the accessory use of a car wash is clearly incidental to and found in connection with the current use of the site as a members-only warehouse and fueling station based on the following. Costco Warehouse currently provides a significant amount of auto-related services. The use will be conducted wholly within the building, and the use of a car wash is incidental to the principal use and the fueling station.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Turner, support by LeRae. Just as sort of a comment,
Yes.
I did get online and take a look at sort of the elevations of the car washes, mostly on the West Coast. There was, Tennessee and a few other ones. Wholly insufficient for what our standards would be here in this township. So should this motion pass?
Would you like to see a draft? We have one that we've started.
No.
Yeah, we're totally aware of what we have to do for our building, yeah.
So we'll have plenty of opportunity
Yes,
at site plan
absolutely, sir.
to beat probably not you up or whoever the engineer, whoever up
Yes.
on this.
Yes.
But just so if you could pass along that should this
I totally
pass,
understand, and
the
they have been made
expectation
aware of that.
within this community on screening and elevations are maybe a little bit different than they are in other places.
I understand.
All right. With that, if there are any other questions on the motions, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Turner?
Yes.
Commissioner LeRae?
Yes.
Commissioner Opone?
Yes.
Commissioner Snyder?
Yes.
Commissioner Meredith?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Grott?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Next item is Planning Director's Report.
So as you noticed, Mr. Moffett, there is quite a number of items in front of you. We are working on a number of ordinance amendments that we see come to the Zoning Board of Appeals quite often. So one of those might be, or I should say, is rear yard setbacks for covered patios. So those are quite popular nowadays, and so we're looking to provide some relief for covered patios to
What a
be in.
tremendous idea.
Yeah. We are doing the community visioning for 2022, so we should have those goals established shortly, probably within the next month or so. We had a survey that was available online to all the residents, and we had over 200 responses as far as the community visioning survey.
Was there going to be a live, I think in the past, we've gotten together, the community collectively.
That's correct. In the past, we used to hold those one evening, and we would get a number of people out. Typically, it was the Friends of the Library when they were pushing for a library building. So we would get probably about 50 residents on those evenings. Last year, due to COVID, we ended up doing a survey online. It was pretty successful. We had, I believe it was over 100 people that submitted their responses, and this year, like I said, we were well over 200 people. So it's proven to be even more successful as the years go on, especially with availability of, having it online and virtual, and somebody can complete it immediately.
All right, so we're not going to have an in-person.
No
The only
in
reason
person
I asked
anymore.
was I was going to encourage, other members, and I know, others have done it in the past, so, okay,
Right.
thank you.
The next item is the 2022 and through 2027 Parks and Rec plan. We are working with the Parks and Rec department in updating their master plan. We have a number of CDBG projects that are in the works. We just completed, or we're this week actually, they're completing these sidewalk gaps along DeQuinder Road. We have 24-mile road sidewalks slated for next year. We purchased iPads for the senior center, and this year, due to the CARES Act, CDBG expanded funding, the CDBG CV program. They expanded funding in our significant amount of funding was granted to Macomb Township, and we applied for 2 projects for those funding, and one is the outdoor fitness facility for the seniors over at the Activities Center. So that's going to be a outdoor fitness facility, fully enclosed, to be used by the seniors. We were qualified for that project, so I anticipate that's going to go through. We should know by the middle of October on that. And also, we're going to be providing essential care packages for seniors. It's going to be a 10-month program where all the seniors that are join the Parks and Rec Activity Center, they are going to be able to go in there and pick up an essential care package consisting of sanitizers and cleaning products and paper towels and those types of items, free of charge, each, one time a month for 10 months. So it's a nice.
So what designates a senior? What's the age for the senior? I'm asking
Well,
for my colleague.
Seniors,
couple
yeah,
steps down.
Seniors are considered low to moderate income people, and the ones that especially are registered with our Parks and Rec Center qualify.
That's where you get your ARP card.
Yeah, oh, well, hey.
You're at 55,
Right.
come on.
Don't look at me.
Mr. Turner and I are in. I'll stop there. Okay. Can I get a motion to receive and file the planning director's report?
So moved.
Moved and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Business from the floor. Craig, you want to tell us how great your boss is?
He is, great boss.
There we go. All right. And with that,
On Saturday, so just so everybody knows.
I did not pay him to say that.
the township does.
I was just going to say.
Move to adjourn?
Is there support? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.